you had a past history of transplant, I think 15, 18 years ago.
Right.
Was that done locally in Dubai itself?
Yes, it was done. Yeah.
Was that a single day job when they did it the first time?
It was a single day job.
Second time, usually what we usually counsel the patient is this: you should consider it as the last.
I did a procedure, which is FUT, and hair loss, became more drastic. Things started to deteriorate.
What was that in your mind which made you take a decision that, you wanted to go for a transplant that early in your age?
Hair loss was a problem for me in terms of confidence, in terms of self-esteem. One experience left me dejected, and I was still not very confident, to be very honest. But then after some time, due to some prodding from family, from my friend as well, that's how I looked at it. Yeah.
So how was that initial meetup with Dr. Abhishek?
Quite honestly, I was a little skeptical, but when I met with him, he explained about patient compliance. It will be done in maybe 5 to 6 days. That really actually helped me to close the deal. It was absolute joy with him when you see certain things that you already felt that it's not going to come back to you. Sometimes I do wonder, I could have done maybe 10 years back, but better late than never.
When it is successful, I think people around you also get indirectly motivated that this is a process we can trust on.
Keeping yourself aesthetically well maintained is not a crime. I think everybody should do it.
3 things that you would want to tell someone who is scared of doing a hair transplant.
2 things rather. Do your research properly. Number 2, don't worry.
Hello, a very warm welcome, Satya sir, on our channel Beyond the Mirror. Thank you so much for being here with us today. It's such a pleasure to, conversate with you further. Thank you. So as you know, this platform, it's been great for us to talk to most of our patients who has undergone the hair restoration journey and to listen to their real, unfiltered and very inspiring stories. With you, I think it's going to become more meaningful because you had a past history of transplant, I think 15, 18 years ago.
Right.
So listening from you how, you took that step to take a decision again, to go through the whole process and all of that would be very insightful for us. So quite excited to talk to you on all these topics.
Sure.
Okay, to start with, firstly, would want to know what, made you move to Dubai from India?
Okay. So the reason I moved to Dubai is, I come from the south part of India, from Kerala.
Right.
So, it's a very cliched thing, but, most of the people are, based out in the Gulf countries.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
And likewise, my family was part of this region for a long period of time. Partly, I did my schooling as well here.
Okay.
So in this part of the world. So that is also one of the reasons why, I decided to move back to Dubai, although I started my work in Mumbai.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons. And it's been 20 years. So if I have to stay here for 20 years, it must be really good.
Absolutely.
Right? So yes, Dubai is a land of opportunities. From the year I stepped in here, which is like 2004, many things have changed. It was just the Trade Center and the Toyota building when in 2004.
Yeah.
So a lot has changed. So yeah, surely it is a land of opportunities.
What is it that you love the most about living here in Dubai?
Well, I would say the lifestyle, the ease of doing things in Dubai, ease of getting things done in Dubai, I believe is much faster. Yeah. Not in comparison to anybody, but I believe
more organized.
More organized and more orderly, and so that really gives you a sense of relief and happy.
Yeah.
To be very honest. Yeah.
So what was that initial years, what field did you start working into and how did that gradually?
So I've always been in consumer electronics.
Okay.
So when I started, obviously I started from a junior position.
Right.
And currently I work in a sales and marketing role in a consumer electronics company.
How's the overall nature of work? Is there a lot of stress involved, a lot of travels?
With sales and marketing, it goes without saying that, there is stress.
Yes.
I'm not saying that other functions do not have, but sales and marketing is a natural, naturally you'll have stress. So yes, stress is there. But how you try and balance it out is the most important factor, which I try and do.
Talking about Dubai, here we've seen, the aesthetic standards overall here and the way people, groom themselves, the way they have a certain, aesthetic treatments people take regularly. There's a certain way they keep their skin, their hair. How much of it do you think has influenced in your life?
Well, for starters, I would say keeping yourself aesthetically, well maintained is not a crime. I think everybody should do it.
Absolutely.
Because looking good does not hurt anybody. Is my personal opinion.
Yes.
And especially in this part of the world, especially in Dubai, people are a little more inclined, towards keeping themselves
self-care. Actually,
self-care.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, that really does rub off on people. It really did to me, at least. I'm sure many people have the same effect. So it is actually a good influence, if you ask me, because self-care is the best form of maintaining yourself.
Absolutely.
And it provides you happiness as well at the end of the day, and self-esteem.
Yes, and it's not only hair, skin. I think the way it's the overall well-being, the way you have yourself, the fitness that you look after, and everything. So
absolutely, every part, everything. Yeah.
Talking about your hair loss, because I remember last time when we discussed, you mentioned a very early age you had started experiencing that initial hair fall. What were the major reasons that you feel were one of the factors for hair loss?
So there were a couple of reasons. Number one, I have a family history. My dad and my dad's dad. So can't do anything much about that. So, but yes, I started having hair loss right at the age of, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 26, 27.
Okay, quite early.
Quite early, yeah. So that was a little of a disappointment, So I did a procedure, which is FUT, but it turned out okay in the first time. I mean, for a couple of years, but or 1 year, I would say. After that, again, things started to deteriorate, and hair loss, became more drastic.
This was how many years ago? And FUT, you mean the whole strip?
Yeah,
surgical
strip. Yeah, exactly. So it was in 2006.
Okay.
2006, quite long back.
Almost 18, 19
Yes. So, and after that, one experience left me a little, dejected. And although I did learn that, that many new techniques or many new technologies have, started coming in, but I was still not very confident, to be very honest.
Also, I think back then, the way people research now, because there's so much available online,
right,
and the kind of counselings that you get. I think 15, 20 years ago, technology was also not so evolved. Plus, the exposure to these procedures was a little lesser.
Yes, I would agree because 15 years back, as you said, yes, I think it was a little more, I wouldn't say basic, but it was not as developed as what it is currently.
Now. Yeah, now it's very common. We have, in fact, more number of centers that have come up and more awareness on this subject. Yeah. Right. So when you mentioned surgical, I'm sure comparatively, if you, try and remember that experience, it would have been a little more painful as well.
Yes, the downtime was really painful.
Yeah.
And I had to, be on the bed for some, I think, few days.
Was that done locally in Dubai itself?
Yes.
The procedure?
Yeah.
Okay. See, a lot of people, usually it's the 30s and the 40s age group where they think they want to opt for this process. You were pretty young. That too when the technology was not as upgraded and you were in your 20s.
Yeah.
So what was that in your mind which made you take a decision that, you wanted to go for a transplant that early in your age?
As I said, hair loss was a problem for me in terms of confidence, in terms of, self-esteem or, although I know that, many people, it's not that I'm the only one, facing that problem, but, personally, when you have it, it's very hard to explain, because it's its own personal experience, which, makes that difference.
True.
So I was, so that is one of the reasons why, and another reason why I went for it is also the fact that, generally I'm whether it is technology or any other factor, I'm a bit of an early adopter.
Okay.
So, so I like to try out new things. And so that is also one of the reasons I went in. And of course, your girlfriend, marriage, all these.
Yeah,
all
we
these
are in
play a
that
part.
age, of course.
Yeah, in
True.
that age, all these things play a part.
Correct. Was there an initial growth after which it kind of, fell off again? Or did you see very lesser growth itself in the phase that time?
There was a marked improvement, although I wouldn't say a full head of hair. There was a marked improvement, but yeah, after 1.5 years, I would say it started, deteriorating again.
Right.
I started experiencing hair fall.
The
again.
hair fall again.
Also, one of the factors was during that process or procedure, only the front part was covered and the back was not touched upon much.
Okay.
And in the later years, the crown, the part
Progressed further into the hair loss.
That made things worse.
Within a year or two, of course, because you were not fully satisfied or maybe it didn't work out, unfortunately for you, you didn't think of doing this again because you almost thought of this after 15 to 18 years. So what was it in your mind? Was there any, lost the trust in the process, or you thought, let's not do this again?
Yeah, trust is a big factor, mainly because of the bad experience which I had in the initial one which I did. So that played a role of not moving ahead or looking ahead. And of course, then life happened, marriage, kids, kid.
Yeah.
So I left it at that point of time. But then after some time, I, again, due to some prodding from family, from my friend as well, who suggested a lot of things, including Ashur.
Okay.
Yeah. So he also prodded me to, visit and, have a look at it and check. So that's how I looked at it. Yeah.
Right. So I think we met you very early while we had not yet launched our center in Dubai, and Dr. Abhishek and our entire team was here, I think, in one of the setups in Business Bay in a hotel where we were just having the free hair checkups.
Right. So as I mentioned, my friend, he was the one who said that, there is a consultation and why don't you go and check out the facility, not the facility, the overall session, and also he gave me Dr. Abhishek's profile, and which of course I did my own research, and of course my wife did much more research because she's in research, so she did a much more. So I have a professional at home, so who did that research, and quite honestly, only good things came up. And I also did my own different kind of research in Mumbai, because I have many friends there.
Right.
So, because the thing is, to get that trust back, you need to have a lot of assurances.
True. Of
course, Assure is the name of the clinic. Sorry.
Yeah. No, but that's true. Of course, somebody who's not had a very pleasant experience in the past elsewhere, they'll definitely be more mindful when they want to do it the next time.
Absolutely.
True. So how was that initial meetup with Dr. Abhishek? And
quite honestly, I was a little skeptical, but when I met with him, there was a lot of explanation, a detailed explanation that kind of cooled down my nerves, a little bit. But having said that, what really clinched the deal for me, if you ask me, is a couple of things which Dr. Abhishek said. One is the guarantee. The 25-year guarantee that your clinic provides after the procedure. And another thing which I really liked and which gave me a lot of put me at ease rather, is the fact when Dr. Abhishek said that yes, I would require a lot of grafts, but it will be done in maybe 5 to 6 days. So I was a little taken aback. So because all this while, what I have been hearing are people going to Turkey or, even here for that matter, or in India for that matter, doing the procedure maybe in 1 day, or, 1.5 days maximum, and then coming back. So I was a little taken aback. So I said, why is that? Why should I, why would I need to spend 5 to 6 days? So he explained very, patiently, and which I really liked, is the fact that about patient compliance, patient, lying on the table or lying on the bed for a long period of time, puts a unreal pressure or stress, which is not beneficial at the end of the day. So that really actually helped me decide that, as well, to close the deal, because, the fact that, Assure really values the patient's, overall well-being as well. So that's one of the reasons.
Also with you, because there was a past history of transplant, definitely the doctors need to be a little more, careful, because it's slightly a more complex process than the regular procedures that we do. And also because of the previous FUT scar, which is there. So certain areas of the donor are already used. So we don't want to take an approach where we end up again, over harvesting or... Because second time, usually what we usually counsel the patient is this: you should consider it as the last, not that there's another third attempt in future that you should leave. So since you had a first transplant, I think they wanted to be more careful and more systematic in planning everything.
Right.
And I think that's helped you.
Absolutely.
So you had traveled to India, if I'm not wrong, because the Dubai center was not yet functional.
Yes, I did my procedure in Mumbai.
That's in 2022.
2022.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's been almost 3 years now.
Almost 3 years, yeah.
What was the process like? How was your healing time?
It took me exactly 5.5 days, to be precise. And how a typical day generally starts is they check your vitals, and then they look at the donor area, and then after which the the anesthesia is given, and then the harvesting is done. So that's the typical day happens, and it used to take around I think 3 to 4 hours maximum. To be honest, the experience was quite pleasant. The staff was extremely courteous, and I believe very well organized as well. So it might be very small to some people, but these are the small things which actually make a big difference
in the overall experience.
And so the belief as well. So it helps.
How was the pain part? Since you had a previous more massive surgical strip method done 15 years ago versus that, was this a little better?
I'll not lie. The truth, the pain was there. And of course, because of the, I believe the anesthesia, because for me it took a lot of grafts, so it's like 5.5 days. So that takes a toll, on your face, and swollen part and all those stuff. But anyway, that's just I would say minor stuff in the overall scheme of things. So yes, there was a little pain, but it was managed.
And after the 5.5 days of procedure, how much was your recovery time to stay there, and how soon did you get back to Dubai?
I flew on the 6th day back to Dubai. Of course, with all the the coverings and everything. Yes. I have a work from home kind of arrangement as well with the company, so it didn't really impact much.
So that's a good flexibility people have. So in case it takes 2-3 days to recover, you can at least start resuming back to work. So while talking to you, of course, understanding this experience, and you had a past experience, we do come across a lot of patients here in Dubai as well as in all our centers in India where they've had a previous history of transplant. So we usually see there are two kind of people. There are some who become a little negative about this process because their experience hasn't been good, or maybe the results were not as satisfactory in the previous transplant, maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, from whichever organization, and they lose the whole trust in the process. They don't really, are encouraged to do or take a second chance and kind of go for the revision surgery or opt for a transplant again. In fact, I've also seen, they don't even encourage others. They kind of generalize, this doesn't work, it didn't work for me, aap bhi mat karao. So with you, what is really positive, and I think that's the most impactful and powerful thing about the story, is that even though you took your time, I think you re-researched again. You came through recommendations. Your wife, since she's so much into researching, and she's done enough research, but you were positive about the process the second time when you went, right? You didn't have any doubts, or was there any were you anxious about this when the second time?
See, I was a little anxious, because the initial part does leave you a scar, literally as well. But
literally as well in the donor. True.
So that really does affect you a little. But as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the credit goes to the doctor and the staff, who are there. Made me a little more confident, and of course the results are also, I believe, quite okay.
What are those 3 important factors that you would want to educate the patients based on your experience are very important that they must consider for a good quality transplant?
See, number 1, I would say, is the doctor, his credentials, and the work he or she has done. Number two, of course, is the organization or the clinic reputation. Because what I would suggest is, people need to do their own research. And of course, third one is the explanations being done. Are they briefed properly from each step of the way? So that's something which is very critical for people to look at. Having said that, what I would say is that people should not really worry too much. Of course, to each his own, but because there are technologies which have come up which are quite beneficial, and I would say please do not wait for long, like I did.
Right. But I wouldn't say you waited, because the first time you did was in an age where maybe at that point everybody in 20s would not do, and that is actually a wonderful thing that you took aesthetics that much importance 15 years ago, when people didn't consider that as common as it is today. So I think that was a very timely decision taken. It's just that unfortunately maybe the technologies were also not the same. So I would say that.
Yeah, but sometimes I do wonder, I could have done maybe 10 years back.
Anyway, that's true.
But better late than never.
Yes, that's right. What are those three things you think don't go right because of which the eventual results are not satisfactory?
The things that go wrong is purely because of the competency or the lack of expertise in using that particular technology to have that that results realized. Because I would say the technology that is currently there, it's a proven one, but that does not necessarily translate into results because it needs to be used properly.
Correct.
Other things, if I would say, is the conduct of the overall clinic or organization in terms of ethical conduct. That is very important. Because what I would say is that there are, I wouldn't want to point out anybody here, but you might be hearing many cases where things are promised to the moon and maybe half is realized probably. So you need to be ethical in your conduct. And of course, the facilities, the facility has to be quite good as well.
Also, what we've realized as we talk with more and more patients here is when they'd done it previously, it was more than the technology, also the time invested, more of a one-day process, like 12 hours, 14 hours, versus I think they get that more comfort and more result-oriented when it's over 5 to 6 days. So was it like a similar thing for you? Was that a single-day job when they did it the first time?
It was a single-day job. That kind of impacted as well.
How many hours did that take?
It took around... if I'm not mistaken, around 7 to 8 hours.
7 to 8 hours and a one-day session was done. Do you think the hair indirectly plays any role in your overall, energies and work vibes?
To start with, it was, absolute joy within. When you see certain things that you already felt that it's not going to come back to you. It's something which is something which you cannot explain it in detail, but that's something very personal.
True.
And I was overjoyed to begin with. In terms of the other factors, in terms of confidence level, of course, confidence is already there, but it adds to your overall confidence and in your self-esteem. And of course, compliments do not hurt. So,
of course,
so if you're getting compliments, because people have been seeing me in a certain way, and the marked difference, that actually brings in a more joy, if you ask me.
When it is successful, I think people around you who are facing similar problems also get indirectly motivated that, no, this is a process we can trust on.
I would definitely hope they get motivated, but you're right.
How was the response for your wife and everyone in the family, since she was also part of researching with you?
Yes, my wife, needless to mention, she's pretty happy, more than happy. My parents and even my father is like, wow, because he's seen me the first time as well.
Yes.
And so he also could not, not that he didn't have hope, but he didn't expect that it will.
Yeah, the second time it will work so well. In fact, this whole conversation, as we are talking, so transparently you spoke about your whole, previous journey and this journey, and that's going to encourage a lot of people who are listening. Also the ones who are to take the first decision, and to a lot of them who have already undergone a previous procedure and looking at revision surgeries. I think your entire this episode is going to motivate them while they are listening to you.
I hope so.
Before we wrap up, we'll be doing a quick rapid fire round. Very simple questions, very much related to Dubai lifestyle and your own work, and a little bit on the hair maybe. So let's start.
Sure.
All right. So the first one,
Okay.
top 3 things you love most about living in Dubai.
Lifestyle, food, culture.
Top 3 differences that you feel between India and Dubai.
World-class infrastructure, excellent roads, and faster commute.
3 places that you always recommend anyone who visits Dubai.
So Burj Al Arab is there, then Palm Jumeirah, and the other one which I always recommend is to go to the Grand Mosque.
3 precious moments from last 20 years of your Dubai journey.
I met my wife here,
Okay.
so that's something very precious.
Yeah.
Number 2 is my son who was born here again.
Okay.
One of the most precious moments.
Right.
And number 3 is the fact that many of my closest friends are here in Dubai.
Yeah.
So I think these are the 3 main
Most precious
most
things.
precious,
Okay.
yeah.
Top 3 habits that changed your life.
One is intermittent fasting, quitting smoking,
Okay. Wow.
and eating healthy as much as possible.
3 things on your bucket list right now.
I'm a big cricket fan.
Okay.
So, go to a live, test match in Australia or England.
Okay.
And number 2 is travel around, travel more into Europe. Third is settling in Dubai.
Top 3 words that define you today.
A lot more disciplined has come into my life. I would like to stay more calm. So I'm a little calm. I'm still working on that. And of course, a lot of confidence.
3 things that you would want to tell someone who are scared of doing a hair transplant.
2 things rather. Do your research properly. Number 2, don't worry.
Myths people believe about the hair transplants.
One of the myths is the fact that, things will not work out. Natural hair will not grow back.
So the last one, if your hair could sing a song, which song would that be?
Kala Chashma.
Kala Chashma. All right. Okay. So it was lovely talking to you, sir. Thank you so very much for your time and, candidly sharing all your experiences with us. It's going to be very helpful to all the viewers who are listening to you.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.